President John Dramani Mahama. He has launched a code of conduct, a sort of booklet to guide his appointees.
Yes, so when you talk and talk, this code of conduct has now become an albatross around the neck of all of them, including the president himself. Generally, I will not say this code of conduct is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's very good, and I commend the president for that.
And the regulation it only appoints receiving, right, not giving.
Yeah. And trust you me, Ghanaians will refer to it every time. And every time that something happens, they will go back and refer to it. Whether the government walk its talk or does not walk its talk, Ghanaians will remember. John Dramani
the power
Mahama.
not to form
So I said they be a busumi bia eso to na ntwe fita no de ko che Kufuado. Ana Kufuado na ma John Mahama ho ati o.
Yeah.
I think for starters na yeah nhwe de omo be. And the Ghanaian people trust you media watch that. It's Mom Mondrian say.
I'm not sure cry oh man.
Yes. Mom Mondrian say that phone no more for pound baby.
Welcome to the Warrior Kings podcast. This is the best patriotic podcast in the world. Here we talk matters political and patriotic. And I am yours truly, the Okuga president. And I have my patriotic and intelligent brother, my comrade, S.A. Hammond, Kwaba. And as usual, we're here to discuss. This is not an interview. This is a discussion, an intellectual and patriotic discussion between two young individuals who are patriotic and have concern of Ghana at heart. So we're here to discuss serious issues affecting Ghana. So my brother, welcome again.
Thank you.
Yeah. So first on the plate, right? We're going to talk about the recently released or launched code of conduct by the President John Dramani Mahama. He has launched a code of conduct, a sort of booklet to guide his appointees and ministers. So you know about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. What do you think about it? There are provisions, interesting provisions and codes in it. So we got to talk about it.
Mr. President, thank you for having me. I think that the code of conduct is a body framework that, in the wisdom of the president and in light with his vision, he thinks that these are things and you can do to help me have a successful government or deliver my social contract to the Ghanaian people. So the president has enumerated some steps, some points, things that logically it makes sense for any public officer to do. Like the president says that serve the public with integrity and impartiality. It makes sense.
First, he described in his own opinion, he says it is a living and enforceable framework that outlines what is expected of every individual appointed under the administration. This is a government of shared responsibility, and there will be no sacred cows, not scapegoats, sacred cows.
Yeah. See, nobody is special. You better behave.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better behave. You're not untouchable, and that if you mess up.
So to create a code of conduct, it means that there's an admission of guilt, that there's corruption or decadence.
Of course, in the Fourth Republic,
they know.
They know. Everybody knows.
So it can be said as a gesture of goodwill.
Yeah.
In enforcing the end to corruption.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are some provisions.
And coming from the president, he is the highest authority, the appointing authority, and he's saying these things. And with recent times, things that have happened, people have referred sharply to the code of conduct. And I like the general political atmosphere of Ghana in the sense that people, especially the youth, are becoming more interested in the day-to-day politics, and they are taking the words of our political leaders by the horns. That
It's just the traditional talk and talk and talk. And
yes, so when you talk and talk, this code of conduct has now become an albatross around the neck of all of them, including the president himself. So that if you tell us that, I want to read a provision to you. If you tell us that,
First, serve the public with integrity and
I want,
impartiality.
good,
Place the national interest above all interest. Avoid misuse of office or state resources.
mhm,
Declare and manage potential conflicts of interest.
good,
Eschew opulence and be accountable for the use of public funds.
good.
See, and
All these are measurable. All
yes.
these can be juxtaposed to the acts and deeds of government appointees or the whole government itself. So it's good, and any public officer who tries to abide by these tenets will be successful. But if you don't, the Ghanaian people will call you out. Example, the president says that gifts received during official engagements exceeding 20,000 must be declared and surrendered upon leaving office unless otherwise permitted by the president. And it says purchasing and distribution of hampers using government funds is generally prohibited, with limited exceptions for modest staff recognition. If you have seen the public sector atmosphere in Christmas, end of year, most of them, they share gifts, hampers to themselves, and all that. Some abuse this good gesture and use it as a conduit to siphon funds and embezzle state funds. Now, the president is saying that it's prohibited. That's the word he used, prohibited. He didn't say stop. Prohibited is even stronger than stop. Then he quickly says that with limited exceptions for modest staff recognition. So now this is open. What is a modest staff recognition? What will amount to a modest staff recognition? What gift will amount to a modest staff recognition? It's left to the conscience of whoever is in charge at that point. You understand? But generally, I will not say this code of conduct is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's very good, and I commend the president for that.
And the regulation it only points receiving, right, not given.
Yeah.
So
which giving is also an issue.
yes, in corruption,
Exactly.
there's given
The
and
giver
taking.
and the receiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
these are some of the things that we, being the patriotic front, we are seeing it as good, but these are some of the things we are seeing, some holes that can be poked into the same code of conduct. And the president himself, being a very reasonable person, if he hears this, he will appreciate it that, okay, yes, what we are saying is factual. And he knows, you see. So, yeah, I mean, so far, it's good.
and he is saying those appointees who haven't declared their assets yet, those whose deadline is passed already, their salary, I think
3 months,
yes, will be forwarded to the Mahama'S,
Yeah.
the Mahama'S fund, right? Yes, and those who would falter on the code of conduct, yes, will pay the penalty by losing their salary to the fund.
Yeah. So I think that there were some ministers and deputy minister appointees who had, as at 31st March, not declared their assets
yet. Yes.
Yeah. So these were the affected persons. But then there's the Fourth Republic again, whether they received their salaries or they did not actually receive it, as the president said, nobody can verify. We don't know as of now. You see, but these are some of the things. Again, it's for starters, it shows good faith.
Yeah, commitment.
You understand?
Yeah.
For starters, it shows good faith and commitment to honor the social contracts that the NDC, the John Dramani Mahama-led government, has with the good people of Ghana. Now, it's one thing to set a code of conduct as a framework, and it's another thing to monitor, execute, and evaluate it. So whether they are truly going to work by the code of conduct and measure the deeds or the misdeeds of the appointees of this government by the code of conduct, we are yet to see. It's early days yet. We are yet to see. And trust you me, Ghanaians will refer to it every time. And every time that something happens, they will go back and refer to it. Whether the government walk its talk or does not walk its talk, Ghanaians will remember. You understand? Ghanaians will remember. So he says that people should not do A, B, C, D. They do A, B, C, D, and you don't do jack. You don't do nothing. Ghanaians will say it. Ghanaians will call out your hypocrisy. And if you think that you're the president and nothing can happen, fine, we'll go to the polls.
And nothing can happen.
Yeah, we'll go to the polls. Something will happen over there. Something will happen at the polls.
We know the rule for election already. So if you're waiting for election to punish them, they can do whatever they want.
For now.
We've seen it with the Astral.
For now.
Nada government.
For now, you can use the legal means and say that you can test the laws, but again, you can test the laws.
What?
You can use the legal means.
Concerning the
yes, even this code of conduct, you can use the legal. The president.
I'm not richest guy. How?
Yeah. So
only richest guy can do that.
No, all of us can do that. But then, on a more serious note, I think that like I said earlier, is a breath of fresh air. Like you were saying, we've seen the Nana Addo Dankwa Bawumia government, which was a free fall for all.
Yeah.
That they could have done nothing wrong. They were angels from the mountain of Olympia.
And that's the point that some people are making that. I said, Akufo-Addo and my Jumana have.
That's asking me. I can't have. That's asking me. I can't have said.
And Mahama'S saint.
I can't say me what I said. Say.
John Dramani Mahama.
So I said they bia, busumi bia. I saw Tony in fita. Not the coach Akufo-Addo. And Akufo-Addo nama John Mahama Mwatio.
Yeah.
Because what Akufo-Addo has done.
And
say, look, recently the president Eko Fanshimbin, so there were some chiefs who were already seated. Just for the fact that John Dramani Mahama did not make them stand up.
Yeah.
He greeted them.
Yeah.
And as tradition permits them.
Gave them respect.
Exactly. As tradition permits them.
Yeah. They stood by themselves.
Can sit down and greet you. I mean, it's only respect that when another man is greeting you, stand up and greet the other man. But there's a chief.
A chief.
Exactly.
He's the landlord.
So buttressing or referencing to the Nana Addo dropping the bar. Nana Addo the bar not too full. John Dramani Mahama did not make them stand up. And just because of that, you could see the euphoria on social media.
Yeah.
You could see it. But this, when you're
when you're standard. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have been on this show and I've said, if the president, John Dramani Mahama, uses Akufo-Addo as the standard, or be fairly.
Yeah.
I said, you're all, or yet, idea Akufo-Addo and ye pet near Kase. We know the standard.
It's clear.
And he himself recognized the standard.
He's charting a different course.
Yes.
Yes. And we like it.
Yeah.
We wish him well.
Yeah, of course.
We want the best for Ghana.
Yes.
That's why we're here. You see. But the Akufo-Addo your standard.
I'm sure if you ask the president, say, na mamu ya obu, why not? Or Shana. Or draw inspiration on him. I'm just about Akufo-Addo. He will not mention another Don Akufo-Addo. On Bonidi.
So
yes. So I think for starters in a year, I'm sure you're and the Ghanaian people trust you, media watch them. It's Mom Andre say.
I'm not sure I will mind them.
Yes. Mom Andre say that phone no more £5.
I said that fam.
That is not the standard.
Oh, that
is not the standard.
Burning food trauma. Just cleaning. What do I say? Gold need there. shiny dada, but ufutro na boho. So a little cleaning will get it, beautiful again.
We wish them well.
We need more than that. We
Yeah.
need to set a standard high.
Yeah, and they know. They know.
Ibrahim Traore be your money. I saw almost fuck you. What I said, so much idea. They gotta learn from the positives.
I really wish this government well. Like